The best thing that I discovered by starting the Australian Jigsaw Puzzle Association was the personal stories that came from the puzzlers. So, and year after year, I then started hearing the personal stories of the impact that the community that I'd created is having on these people. That wasn't what I signed up to, but that is what's kept me going, and that is now my passion.
Hi, I'm Donna.
And I'm Di. We are the Double Ds, and welcome to the Discovery Diaries.
We acknowledge the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation as the traditional custodians of the land on which we are recording this podcast. We pay our respects to the elders past and present and acknowledge their spiritual connection to family and storytelling.
So in today's episode, we're going to be talking with Healy, who is the creator of Interschool Puzzle Club. Deanne's involvement in the world puzzle industry and community has led her to recognising a need to introduce puzzling to our younger generations for the endless list of benefits to their wellbeing and development. Deanne is the founder of the Australian Jigsaw Puzzle Association. So if you're a member, we've actually got the founder, and is also the former vice president of the World Jigsaw Puzzle Federation. And in this story, we hear how her hobby and passion as an individual puzzler has led to so much more.
Deanne, welcome to the Double Ds. So we've got the Triple Ds today, which is fantastic. And I met Deanne at a networking function, and she was telling me all about her work and her passion for puzzles and the benefits they can bring. And so that's why I thought it would be fantastic to have you on the show. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome,
Lovely
Deanne.
to be here.
Lovely to meet you.
Deanne, I think let's just start with your story about how you got so into puzzles and all the different things that you've done with puzzles over the years.
Sure. So I started as a puzzler as a child. Looking back now as an adult, I see more of what was going on, but at the time I wasn't aware of what I was doing. But puzzling was my happy place when I was a child. I would happily puzzle in silence by myself for hours doing a jigsaw puzzle, and I just loved it. And I realise now that was my mental health safe space. And growing up, I've continued to do them. I find when life gets a bit much and I'm a little overwhelmed or a little stressed out, a puzzle is always the best thing for me. It calms me down. It stops my mind overthinking. And then I would have people come visit my house and I am doing a puzzle, or they would see me 2 hours later and my puzzle is finished, and I'd get regular comments of, "Oh, you're really fast at doing jigsaw puzzles." And because I puzzle alone, I never knew if I was or not. So I was curious to do a race, and I thought it was the only way to find out if I am actually fast. And so I Googled it. I couldn't find anything in Australia, but I did find a race in Spain. Mm-hmm. And I happened to be going on a holiday to Spain the week after. So
The week after, that's pretty serendipitous.
Yes. So we went, I'm going to Spain a week early. I'm going to go to this puzzle race. I didn't realise it was the World Championships.
Oh.
It was the very first World Championships. I had no idea. So I was against all these people who have been practicing and are really fast, and I'm doing my very first jigsaw race. But I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I felt that sense of belonging. I found my people, and I just got an absolute kick out of it. So I said, right, I'm doing this when I go home. I'm going to start races.
What's involved in a jigsaw puzzle race? Like, do they have a certain number of pieces or a certain type of puzzle?
Yeah, generally it's a 500-piece puzzle. Everyone in the room gets the exact same image, and they haven't seen it before the timer starts. Basically, timer starts, open your bag, start puzzling, and the first one to finish wins.
Or do you have a picture of the finished puzzle or not?
Yes, you've got the box, so you can use the guide of the picture on the box. It's just
box.
Really fun. It is just, and you never in a million years thought that adrenaline would be associated with jigsaw puzzling, but in a race it is, and I love that.
How quickly do the winners win these races?
The fastest in the world are doing it around half an hour.
For a 500-piece jigsaw puzzle.
I know, yeah. It's quite a sight to see. puzzling doesn't sound like a spectator sport, but it is so fascinating to watch. Actually, the World Championships is being live streamed. It's next month, September. I recommend you watch it. It's actually really entertaining. So I came home and I started the Australian Jigsaw Puzzle Association purely so I could do puzzle races and let other people do races. What I didn't see coming was the amount of people who were in the same boat as me who were looking for puzzle races. So it became really, really popular, and it's increasing in popularity year on year. It's like doubling in numbers each year. But the best thing that I discovered by starting the Australian Jigsaw Puzzle Association was the personal stories that came from the puzzlers. So, and year after year, I then started hearing the personal stories of the impact that the community that I'd created is having on these people. That wasn't what I signed up to, but that is what's kept me going, and that is now my passion.
So was that people that would come to these races, they all had personal stories about why they started doing puzzles?
Yeah, some people tell us what puzzling at home means to them. That, you know, they say, I remember when I had surgery, I couldn't do anything, and puzzles was the only thing that made me happy. It was the only thing I could do. We had a gentleman with cerebral palsy in a wheelchair. Through COVID, he wasn't allowed to attend his physiotherapy because of restrictions. So he chose jigsaw puzzles as his physical therapy. And him and his wife came to one of our competitions in a pairs race, and they told me that he started doing 20-piece children's puzzles, and then he was now at a jigsaw puzzle race doing a 500-piece puzzle with his wife, racing in a community. And the physiotherapy puzzling did for him was incredible for his fine motor skills and his movement. And on top of that, I was informed that him being a part of that community, it was the best day he'd had in years. He wasn't very sociable because of his disability, but this was a place that he felt accepted and comfortable, and he had never felt so included, and it was beautiful. That was the first story I got of what our events were doing for people, and that was enough to keep me going forever. I'm like, do you know what? If I can have that impact, or not even me, if our events can have that impact on one person's life, it made my day.
How often do these events take place, and how many people generally go to them?
So there's one state competition every year and a national competition each year. Although since the community's grown, there are lots of local puzzle groups who are doing races and social activities and social meetups. So there really is something for everyone now. But the numbers just keep growing. We're talking, I think this year's national, it's going to be about 600 individuals, 300 teams. Now that's teams of 4. So it's that 3, 6, 9, 1,200 people puzzling at one time. It's just got massive. And there's a real buzz in the air. Like, it's a room full of people who have found their people. And it's one of the very rare spaces that it's very clear no one cares where you come from, where you live, what job you have, what you look like. All these things are so irrelevant, and I love that in this community. So I started the Australian Jigsaw Puzzle Association, and that has just taken off. I also became the vice president of the World Federation, so I was involved in the World Championships. Both of those roles I have now stepped down from to focus my energy on my new business, which is Interschool Puzzle Club.
So when I spoke to you, you were saying that there were so many mental health benefits for adults doing puzzles, and that's what gave you the idea to start your new business, which is focused more on children, isn't it? Is it primary school children?
Primary and high school. Yes, that's exactly right. So after all these interactions with people and their stories and how puzzling has helped their lives, I recognised there was a demographic missing at these events, and it was the children. So we do have children come to the events. However, the only children that really will be able to come to these events are children who have parents who are puzzlers. So the parents need to see the event advertised. They need to buy them the ticket. They need to drive them to the event. They need to sit and wait hours for them to finish their race and then drive them home. So if their parent is not a puzzler, they're not going to have access to this community. So I thought, how can I take it to where the kids are, where the kids get to choose if they want to do this? And I thought the schools. I need to take it to the schools where the kids are. I need to give them access to all the benefits that puzzling have. And I need to give them the opportunity to create their own community, their own puzzle community, and find their own people. So yes, adults have the options out there to make their own decisions, but the kids don't really have that option available to them. So Interschool Puzzle Club is now giving children that option.
So how does the Interschool Puzzle Club work?
So as Australia-wide, we provide the schools with a pack that gives them everything they need to run their puzzle club for an entire year. And every school, doesn't matter whether they're primary or high school, they all get the same race puzzle in their packs. And we have an online leaderboard. So when they are submitting their times for completing that official race puzzle, they've all done it with the same puzzle. So theoretically, the leaderboard online, they're all racing students from around Australia. We encourage the schools to have the kids competing in teams of 4. That's purely from a teamwork, collaboration, a social communication aspect, but they don't have to. So, and then we've got the assorted puzzles in the pack for the kids to just discover puzzling, enjoy puzzling, and learn the different skill sets required to do a puzzle. We throw in puzzle games and puzzle crafts, but it's quite often referred to as a wellbeing club for schools. We underestimate how much kids are going through. There's a lot of kids carrying a lot of heavy stuff. So for those that have done a jigsaw puzzle, it's a great place to escape. Without even trying, when you do a puzzle, your thoughts kind of disappear, and that includes your negative thoughts. So for that one pocket of time that you immerse yourself in a jigsaw puzzle, you're almost free from all the troubles going on in your life. So, and on top of that, you've got the developmental benefits. So it's good for their spatial awareness, fine motor skills and things like that. But especially the high school kids, I had a teacher just today describe it as their year 10 and 11 students are enjoying the brain break. So it's a nice time out from all their stress and their studies. It's a great decompression session, if you like. And I look forward to the teachers getting on board and the teachers having their time in Puzzle Club so that their working week gets a little bit easier.
And you're focusing on the puzzle, so you're not thinking about a million other things all at once.
You actually can't. It's a fascinating thing, and you won't really know unless you let yourself get immersed in a puzzle. You just don't think of anything else. So it's very calming on the mind. So people who, it's quite often said, people with ADD really love puzzles. It slows everything down, gives them something to focus on. It's quite a powerful tool.
And do we know, you obviously got the social stories that are coming back of the impact that it's having. Do we know any of the neuroscience behind what it actually is doing?
There are a lot of studies available out there on the mental health benefits of puzzling. It's incredible. I'm going to say it's therapy in a box. It really is. There is so much to benefit from letting yourself enjoy jigsaw puzzles. But yes, there's definitely plenty of studies out there, and yeah, it's a wonderful hobby. It's fun. It's now become sociable and competitive if you want it. But yes, where my passion lies is the good it's doing for people's lives. Yeah.
And what are schools telling you in terms of is it quite an easy thing for them to adopt? Are they telling you that it's really an easy rollout or an easy sell for them to actually get that engagement?
Yeah, it's pretty much the easiest club for a teacher to run. We've set it up so it's really flexible. So we don't want it too structured because the students' needs are going to be so different. So you're going to have students that get a real kick out of racing. You're going to have students that are not sociable, non-verbal, who are really uncomfortable in social settings but want to belong to a club. So they might want to sit at a table and puzzle by themselves. This club allows for all of that. So at the end of the day, a teacher really just needs to get the puzzles out and let the kids puzzle. That is the basics of the club. Like if that's all you do, the kids are going to benefit. We just give them the option to grow from that if they want to and if the students need it. So, yeah, we're getting wonderful feedback from the teachers and we're hearing stories already about the kids. We've heard a lot of non-verbal or not socially confident children are enjoying the club because doing a jigsaw puzzle in silence is not weird. It's not uncomfortable.
I was going to ask you about that because the sort of social stigma of, or the social pressure to converse or to be, which is such an effort for a lot of kids.
Exactly.
They don't know the rules of the social engagement.
Exactly. So this club really fills a gap for, there's a group of kids in every school who need this club. So as I say, doing a jigsaw puzzle in silence is perfectly okay. It's not going to stand out. No one's going to go, oh, well, this is awkward. It doesn't exist. And then for the children who are wanting to develop their social skills, when one of the teammates says, oh, I'm looking for one piece with that little bit of red on it, the nonverbal child can pass them that piece that they're looking for. No words need to be exchanged, but they've just communicated with that person. Or just the word thanks. Thanks. That's okay. And they can start gradually easing into very gentle social skills. Puzzling is a very gentle social space. It
actually sounds, as you describe it, like the sort of almost definition of inclusivity.
100% it is. It really is. We're seeing children come to the events. So the only time I've been meeting the students is when they attend the state competitions. And it's confirming everything I'd hoped for, the relationships with these kids, the communication with the kids. The kids are telling me, oh, I didn't know them before this, or we weren't friends before, but now we're friends. And the teachers are saying, yeah, these kids just stick together now. Like they've just got this real special friendship that Puzzle Club gave them. Yeah, there's some really special stories coming out.
This podcast is brought to you by my weekly newsletter, which is Donna's Balcony Views newsletter. This is a short weekly free newsletter that I write with the theme of building resilience and improving wellbeing. It contains 2 things I've experienced, 2 things I've learnt from others, such as speakers, podcasts, books or articles, and a personal story from someone else about what they do for their resilience or their wellbeing.
What I love about your newsletter, Donna, is it's really bite-sized and it's extremely easy to read. In a couple of minutes, I've got some great resources and some little tips that I might try. And I read it this morning again and it just gave me some idea of what I could focus on, some morning questions and some evening questions, and I'm really enjoying it.
If you would like to sign up for my weekly newsletter, my free weekly newsletter, go to my personal website, which is www.donnasbalconyviews.com.au, or on Instagram at Donna's Balcony Views.
So I'm also curious about, parents struggle with keeping kids off social media, off their phones. What are you noticing about what parents are saying in response to it being an alternative?
The parents who come to the competitions and see the children puzzling, it's a game changer, because I think the parents had no idea what it looked like. The parents had no idea what this puzzle club was. They come to the competition. The race is 2 hours. So we've had children ranging from year 2 to year 12 at these events. And those children will sit or be in that one place for 2 hours straight without a single screen, without a single need to do something else, or, they stayed focused for 2 hours. And I have these conversations with the parents and I say, find me another activity where we have 15 children all sitting for 2 hours focused and enjoying themselves. They're loving it. It really is, it's so essential and it's a game changer. And the focus these kids are effortlessly having that doesn't involve a screen. It's almost like parents have given up on thinking their children can get by without a screen. just give them the right tools, and jigsaw puzzles is one of them.
I'm just like thinking of here we are at Curtin University recording this, and, it needs a research project attached to it that shows that long-term benefit of 2 hours of puzzling every 2 days or something, and get some real research and stats
I would love to
behind
invite
it.
someone to come on board and do that because, well, in a way, it's been my lifetime experience, but in my 5 years of coordinating these community events, I know what it does. I don't have a degree in that area, but I've seen enough to be so confident that research is going to support exactly what I'm seeing, exactly what I know. It's just right there in front of you, and it's so fascinating to watch.
It's really interesting with the focus as well, because that seems to be one of society's issues at the moment. Is it's so hard to focus on anything for a long period because we're jumping around.
So
on the
even for an
screens and
adult,
everything.
there's an adult benefit as well. Calm down and focus on one task, and don't be distracted. That you'll actually find your thoughts do not take, you can do activities and your thoughts ping here and ping there. When you're doing the puzzle, it just calms down. It's amazing. It's amazing, yeah.
You start looking for the blue pieces and the clouds and the flowers and all that sort of stuff.
And you're just looking for that dopamine hit of that piece going in. And when you've got a puzzle of 500 pieces, that's 500 hits of dopamine. I mean, again, find me another activity that gives you 500 hits of happiness.
Never mind 1,000-piece puzzle.
Exactly. The one thing to be careful, though, this is adults as well, never go into a puzzle that's too big for your ability. You'll feel defeated, and all those benefits we talk about kind of drift away. You start feeling defeated and you're not good at this, and you're not motivated to come back to it. So always start with smaller rather than bigger. But a lot of the things I will talk about is actually for adults and children. So jigsaw puzzles give you that sense of achievement that a lot of people are not finding in their lives. They're not engaging in activities that give them that sense of achievement. And one good thing about a jigsaw puzzle is it is 100% guaranteed a solution. There's a solution. It comes together. So if you persevere, you will be rewarded. So it's nice knowing that, because there's some activities you can do that you don't know if there's going to be a solution at the end. It's not a guarantee.
Yeah, and I was speaking to you off recording, just saying that my father, who is just re-engaged with puzzling, and to see the focus that it's bringing for him and the engagement in something to do with the day, a sense of achievement, and now staying up later at night to finish it, to find that final, piece.
He's hooked.
And the sense of achievement.
Yeah, there's nothing like that last piece going in, isn't?
But also actually then standing back and admiring the beauty of the puzzle itself, right?
Well,
so I'm curious about that as well, because some people frame their puzzles and, have them on display, and there's some really beautiful pieces of art that come out of
That's
puzzle
right.
itself.
So jigsaw puzzle images now are completely different to what they were 20 years ago. They used to be old-fashioned paintings. There's still some old-fashioned paintings that are classics, but they used to be boring and kind of old people pictures. Now, oh my gosh, there is no limit to what you can have on a jigsaw puzzle, and they're really cool. They're really beautiful. They're really cool. You can have every cartoon character on a jigsaw puzzle. You can have just anything trending can be on a jigsaw puzzle. You can now put your own photos into a jigsaw puzzle. They can be anything you want them to be. And the modern designs that people are doing are just breathtaking. So yes, there's that. You watch this beautiful art piece unfold before your eyes. And as you say, people are framing them and putting on their walls. Some puzzles even come in a box with a frame. They are decor.
Yes.
They were designed to be decor in your home.
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
So what's available is a whole different thing.
I listened to a podcast a few years ago with Hugh Jackman, and he is a very big into jigsaws. And evidently after his shows, if he's doing Broadway shows or very, very energetic and high focus shows afterwards, to wind down and clear his mind, he'll do a jigsaw puzzle.
So he's using them for that decompression.
Absolutely.
Yes, I'm aware Hugh Jackman's a puzzler. When I was president of the Australian Jigsaw Puzzle Association, my goal was to have him as an ambassador.
How did you get on with that?
No, it didn't happen, funnily
Come
enough.
on, Hugh, if you're listening, I think, there's a real missed opportunity here to support the development of children,
That's right.
for the next 50 years.
Good luck to him if I ever cross his path.
Well, the other thing that he recommended, which I thought was a very good idea as well, is to take a photo of something in your backyard or some place that you go often and turn it into a jigsaw puzzle. And because you have to focus and concentrate so much on every detail of the jigsaw, you'll never look at the same scene in the same way again.
Wow, it makes you appreciate what you've been looking at all along. I love that.
And notice details that you would never ever have noticed otherwise, because you're spending hours and hours looking at that picture and putting it together.
Wouldn't that be great if schools took photos of their nature playgrounds or their natural environment, and then you did the puzzle, and then you actually did more activities outdoors that supported that real curiosity and intentional focus?
Yeah. And the kids can relate to it. I mean, another thing, you're saying schools that struggling with children's focus, they're also struggling with engagement. So if you can give them something that they can relate to, like it's part of their life, they don't need to know they're learning. Don't tell them they're learning at the same time. Let them just enjoy it. Yeah, that's a great idea. It's a really good idea.
I think the really great thing about, and the reason I wanted you to come onto the podcast as well, is because everyone can go out and get a puzzle. They've probably got some in their cupboard already, and it's such an easy thing to do. And I don't think people think much about the mental health benefits of it. And they're really varied.
Yeah, puzzles are very easily accessible. Some libraries, you can rent them out for free from a library. The community we've created have regular free puzzle swaps. So they all meet at a place at the same time, and basically a puzzle you finish, put it on the table and take one that you haven't done before. It's free. So, I mean, if anyone's listening, the Australian Jigsaw Puzzle Association, go on their Facebook group or the website. Get involved in that community, and it'll change your puzzle world. And so Interschool Puzzle Club, we are making all of that available to children. So we are solely focused on giving the kids what the adults already have access to. But like you say, if the adults are unaware of what's available to them, they don't know they've got access to it. So thank you for your podcast for making this information available to anyone who's listening.
No.
I remember how popular puzzles were during COVID. It was quite difficult to get jigsaw puzzles because everyone was stuck at home. But it is, it's a very relaxing, focused thing to do.
I think COVID forced people to remember how good puzzling is. So a lot of them have carried on with that since COVID.
I'd be very interested, Diana. You did tell me a couple of stories before the podcast. Can you just share a couple of stories that you've come across either in the Adult Puzzle Association or with the kids?
Yeah.
Sort of like the impact that the puzzles have had?
I'll talk more about the adults, but just keep in mind when I say that basically what we're giving to the students is access to what they can carry through to their adult life. I'm just going to give you some examples of how puzzling has helped some people. So some people have used puzzling to recover from addictions. So I think now I'll just make it very clear, I'm not a psychologist. I have no qualifications in the mental health field. So the people with addictions, I think one of their biggest battles is stopping their mind going to the thoughts of wanting the things they're not supposed to have. So some people, when they recognise those thoughts coming on, they get out a jigsaw puzzle, get stuck into it, and for at least that period of time, they've stopped thinking about what they're craving, their addiction. People have used it through grief. Oh my gosh, I had a beautiful story. There was a family, they lost the father in their family. They had teenagers and a mum, and the father was completing a puzzle and passed away before he finished it. And the family are not puzzlers. So they asked for the help of someone from our community, which someone very kindly did. They went round to their home, finished the puzzle with the family. They engaged the family in this. and then the family framed and put that puzzle on the wall in memory of their dad. And I just thought that was so beautiful. And so now those children have a connection to that jigsaw puzzle. Just grief and sadness and loneliness, doing a jigsaw puzzle can just sort of not stop you from thinking of it, but just give you a break, a time out from all that heaviness going on in your life. People who have suffered from strokes, dementia, serious injuries such as spinal injuries, a lot of people can't go and get on with the things they used to do. They physically are unable to do it. There's not many people who can't do a jigsaw puzzle. So we're talking that gives them that purpose, gives them that sense of achievement. Achieving something in your day is so important. And so for people who are going through a stage in their life where they're feeling defeated, they're feeling helpless, a jigsaw puzzle can just give them that little flash of, oh, I did good. And do you know what? I look forward to doing another one tomorrow or next week.
That sense of worth, I'm sure it really taps into, I'm worth something.
Yeah, and they get to show someone their achievement.
Yeah.
Leave it on the table till someone comes to visit and go, hey, I've got something I want to show you. Or take a photo and post it in one of these community Facebook groups, and you will have strangers praising you for either picking a beautiful puzzle or achieving the completion of that puzzle. And you don't even know these people, and yet that is the lift you needed in your day.
I love that at my parents' house now that the dining room table has been taken over with the puzzle, which means that as you walk in the door, you have to join in, and it actually is taking precedent over food, which again is just like that becomes the priority.
I love that.
And people walk in and go, and they maybe just do 5 minutes.
Yes.
But it's almost like building a little connection point for visitors rather than just sitting and having a cup of tea.
Exactly.
I've noticed that as well. We had a previous podcast guest, Lawrence Brown, he's actually 90 now. He came and stayed at my house for a week late last year, and he loves doing puzzles. And so I got out a puzzle, and every night we'd work on this puzzle. And it was really interesting because when you're doing an activity, you start talking, and I found out so much about his life that I wouldn't have known otherwise. And I had worked with him for, 10-year period.
Exactly.
But it's
quality bonding time.
Yeah, it's doing that activity, I think, that gets you talking, doing
and
that
something else
together.
We've noticed, and it's actually the community has created this. Some people were doing it, but some people are now doing it because of the community relationship building within a family. So jigsaw puzzles is one of those rare activities that you could have every generation of your family partaking and all enjoying it equally, from your toddler to your teenager to your middle-aged parent to your elderly grandparents. They can all enjoy this activity equally. So what we're finding at the events, you've got grandparents puzzling with their grandchild in a team, and they're racing together. So you can't do a running race together. The grandparent doesn't want to do a computer race together, but they all both happily do a jigsaw puzzle race together. So we've got parents and their teenagers. They've got an activity that they can do as a team together. And like you say, the conversations that happen over a jigsaw puzzle, it's fantastic for a relationship. Date night with your partner, get a bottle of wine, do a jigsaw puzzle together, and it will be amazing the different conversations you have because it's not rushed. It's a very genuine conversation, and a bit like we were saying with the school kids, if you have moments in that conversation where you have a lot of silence, that's okay. It's not going to be weird. But that silence could be so valuable in your conversation, because whatever you're talking about, having that extra time to process what you're about to say next. In a regular conversation, you don't have that because you generally respond straight away. So, the relationship building within families is next level.
Yeah, and it's even just jointly doing something together. I had my nieces and nephews over who are, some are younger and some are older, and everyone was doing a little bit of
everyone can do a puzzle. So quite often adults will do a childish activity to keep the children happy. So you're doing something together, but realistically, the adult doesn't want to do that. They're doing it to keep the child happy. puzzling, it's actually very balanced. The pleasure you get from it is very balanced. It's no one's doing it because it's in the other person's age bracket. It's for everyone.
Yeah, I'm imagining my 85-year-old father with my 5-year-old niece saying, find me all the blue ones, or,
Exactly.
whatever that is. And then I turn up and do half an hour together and see something that he doesn't see, and we get another little bit done together.
Yeah.
And it's that dipping in and out as well, the opportunity. It doesn't have to be there for the whole duration as well.
And that inclusion of all of you and your contribution, that is so good for your well-being. Like it's so important. Like I truly believe jigsaw puzzles should almost be a prescription.
Social prescribing is a big piece.
Is that a thing?
Absolutely. Social prescribing is a well-known response to support good health, mental health, and, like in the same way art therapy or other, and social prescribing in terms of going out and being with people is absolutely proven response to isolation and mental health issues. So, Deanna, as we come to a bit of a close on I have a final question, which is about what's changed for you and your puzzling through this journey, if anything?
It's actually very clear. So I used to puzzle for my own satisfaction and I wanted to race. I am now so passionate about the mental health and wellbeing benefits for everybody. I'm directing my energy to the children simply because, like I said before, they don't have the same access that adults have. They can't make the decisions on their own, and them having access to these benefits is going to be a bonus for them as an adult. So my passion has shifted. So I still enjoy doing jigsaw puzzles. I love racing. That is my hobby, but my passion is sharing the mental health and wellbeing benefits of puzzling to anyone who is open to receiving it.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing that passion, but also the reminder of the simplicity of it and the accessibility and inclusivity of it. It's really remarkable.
It's amazing how something so simple can be so powerful. And I think anyone listening who decides to do a puzzle, do it and send us in the picture on Instagram at Double D's Discovery Diaries, and we can build our own little puzzling community as well.
I love that. Thank you for having me on, ladies, and thank you so much for getting it. You understand it, and that makes me really happy. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
So, Donna, I was feeling very inspired after Deanne spoke, and I thought, I know my dad's already a puzzler and it's really supporting him at 85 to have something to do as his memory declines. It's a really good focused activity. But then someone told me about a guy in Perth who actually makes puzzle boards so that you can put them on an angle, because my parents were saying, their neck gets strained standing over or sitting down. So he does it almost like an easel with a stand so that it protects the puzzle, but also you can do it on the angle that you want, and it comes with drawers and you can separate all the things and you can move it about. Anyway, we're going to share in the show notes Ivan Banks' Timbercraft. And get on there and have a look at these amazing boards.
So, Di, I have unfortunately broken my wrist recently, and so everyone has been suggesting and giving me puzzles. So I have received a black and white puzzle with a Paris theme.
Ooh.
And another friend sent me this beautiful Aboriginal artwork puzzle. And so I've got plenty of puzzles to keep me going, and also, like you, very inspired from Deanne's podcast. And I hope that you at home get out a puzzle as well and start doing it either on your own, with friends, or collective intergenerational family.
We hope you've loved today's episode. We always enjoy bringing these to you. We'd love to grow the podcast, and one of the ways that we can do that is to ask you to like us, to follow us, to give us a review, but also just to share it with your friends and family.